Now let's bring up Kelly Dearman, the president of HSM Investment Group. She will introduce tonight's next honoree. Kelly?
Woo! Hi, everybody. Tonight, I have the pleasure of introducing Trent Rhorer. He's the executive director of the Human Services Agency. Trent worked with the mayor's office to make certain that CHP's vision for the 5th Street apartments was supported and realized. With his support, the mayor approved some funding to provide supportive services to the youth living in the building. And we are very proud of that, and I'm very proud of you, Trent. Please help me welcome Trent Rhorer.
I think I can see the judges need a lot of time to figure out who's going to win because the performances were so great, so I'm going to take a little time to allow them to tally their points. First of all, Gail and CHP staff, you guys know you do a fabulous job, and we saw it in 7 examples on the stage. We see it every day. You house people, you improve people's lives, you give them a path towards dignity and self-sufficiency and what we want in all our lives, and you should be commended. So to be honored by you means a lot. So thanks, Gail and staff. You know, I run a huge city agency. So you have 7 fabulous performers and you end with a city bureaucrat, but whatever. We serve about 130,000 San Franciscans every year come through our door, whether they're getting health insurance through the Affordable Care Act or cash assistance through Welfare to Work or hopefully being housed by a great provider like CHP. And I'm lucky to have this job. And I'm lucky to be in a position where the work that I do and the work that my 2,000 some odd staff do every day to help improve the lives of 130,000 or more San Franciscans every year. So to be honored for that and to be honored for specifically the 5th and Harrison project, it means a lot. And truly, you know, I feel fortunate to be in my job, so to be honored, that's, you know, kind of the cherry on top. I wanted to talk just, and I don't want to take a lot of time, but I have a forum for folks who are interested in this issue and who contribute to this issue, and I want to share with you what I've been talking about a lot over the last few months, because if you read the local papers and you watch the local news, I know. Homelessness is in the news a lot lately, right? And a lot of it is, no offense, Dave? No, go ahead. Negative. Positive stories don't make it in the papers and on the news a lot. They make it some, but not enough. And what you see is criticisms about what the city is doing. We spend too much money. We're not getting enough positive results. We have homeless counts every 2 years, and the number of homeless people aren't going down at all. And I, you know, that's part of my responsibility, right? I headed the city's effort on homelessness under Mayor Newsom for 4 years, and we worked hard in partnership with Gail and Jeff Kaczynski's here. He was part of that, and others. And I get the question a lot, and I've gotten it a lot recently, is so you've done the homeless count over the last 6 years. You've done it 3 times, and it's still 6,000 homeless. There's 3,500 on the street every night. There's another 2,500 in shelter or in treatment or in jail or in the hospital. How come the number's not changing? You're not doing anything. You're not solving homelessness. And what I say is, we may not have solved homeless on the system level. There are still 6,000 people who need a home. But since 2004, we've housed over 11,000 people. So, through agencies like Community Housing Partnership, through supportive housing. So what I say is, no, we haven't solved homelessness. And there are a lot of reasons for that have nothing to do with providers like CHP or bureaucrats like me. But we've solved homelessness for 11,000 people. And that is something. And then we get the criticism, well, you spend $80 million a year housing these people. $80 million a year. And so what I say to them is, when you look at the data, and the reason that we embarked on this effort in a large way, it predated 2003, but this is really when we sort of expanded in a huge way. It was 2003, 2004. It's more expensive to have a homeless person on the street or in the shelter system than it is to house them in supportive housing. The data show it. Look up the research that was actually groundbreaking research in the 90s in San Francisco that's spread across the country. It is cheaper to house someone than it is to have that person on the street. Their use of the emergency room goes down by 3/4. Their inpatient hospital stays decline by almost 80%. Their incarceration rates go way down. Their use of emergency medical, EMS, law enforcement on the street are non-existent. It saves the city money, right? And that's the argument for policymakers, and that's the argument for critics. I don't like that argument. It works. It helps us get funding. The argument I like is it's the humane and dignified approach to dealing with this issue. You saw seven shining, impressive, tear-jerking examples tonight on stage. Despite the mistakes people may have made in their lives, despite addiction or diseases people may have in their lives, they deserve a humane and dignified response by government. And that humane and dignified response is not leaving them on the street, it's not putting them in emergency shelter, it's housing them. And that's the argument that I like to use. So to CHP, you guys do it, you do it well, you continue to improve, you continue to professionalize, you get it. I love working with partners like you. To the EDs, Sherilyn Adams, Jeff Kaczynski, and others who are doing the same thing and doing it well, thank you. There's no way the city could have housed 11,000 people without your work. Thanks for the award, thanks for the recognition. I don't deserve it, you do. Thank you, everyone.